In my humble opinion, no trip to Barcelona would be considered complete without a visit to La Sagrada Familia. La Sagrada Familia has been under construction for over 130 years. In 1882, the first stones were laid, but after the initial architect of Sagrada Familia had some artistic differences, modernist architect Antoni Gaudi took over the project. Gaudi worked on the project until his untimely death in 1926, the result of an accident when he was hit by a tram. Over 130 years later, there is finally an ending in sight. 2026, on the 100th anniversary of Gaudi's death. Gaudi replaced the classic neo-Gothic plan with a modern one more daring, one far more grand. This massive place of worship is full of symbolism inside and out. On the eastern side, where most tourists enter, is the Nativity facade. It depicts the birth of Jesus in incredible detail, juxtaposed with an overt theme of nature. The scenes seem to grow and emerge organically out of the stone. Animals, trees, and all variations of nature surround the scene because, as Gaudi said, there are no straight lines or sharp corners in nature. Therefore, buildings must have no straight lines or sharp corners. This side of the church holds the most steadfast to Gaudi's original vision of La Sagrada Familia: earthy, organic, and full of life. Now contrast that with the opposite side of the church, which depicts the Passion. Stark lines, smooth stone, and barren scenes are the opposite of the lush scenery overflowing with life on the Nativity side. Here you'll find angular, harsh faces. Sadness, grief, and despair are obvious on the faces of the mourners. What's amazing is that these two facades, as entrancing as they are actually only side entrances. When completed, the main entrance will be at the end in a yet-to-be-constructed entryway. The interior of Sagrada Familia has come a long way in a short time. Only 20 years ago, one could only skirt around the edges behind ropes. Now, tourists have full reign of the nave. That is, when a service is not going on. In keeping with the theme of nature, the immense, towering columns are meant to look like tree trunks, complete with a canopy of leaves overhead. What makes Sagrada Familia stand out to me among all the other churches in Europe, besides of course its massive scale and stonework, is the stained glass. Gargantuan walls of bright colors are found along both sides of the nave. Worshippers and tourists alike are bathed in a symphony of glorious color from all angles, a far cry from the somewhat drab and somber atmosphere of Gothic and medieval churches of this scale. Throughout the day, the colors change as light streams in through the windows, casting beautiful hues of red, green, blue, and yellow. When completed, La Sagrada Familia will have the tallest steeple in the world. To give you an idea of how tall that will be, the 4 current spires are 330 feet tall, and when completed, the tallest spire, the Jesus spire, will climb a staggering 560 feet into the air. After exploring the church itself, take some time to wander through the attached museum. Here you can learn some history of the church, find workshops with scale models, and see some of the memorabilia gathered throughout the life of this still incomplete church.